Okay, so now to turn on the voice text-to-speech, not the voice guide obviously because that's already on, but text-to-speech that'll read the books to you, you have to go to a menu feature that looks like a little A and it looks like a big A and a little A, which I mentioned earlier, which is the left of the home button, to the right of the spacebar button. And when you do that, it'll bring up another menu.
Page preferences. Font size 6.
Okay, the first thing it'll do is it'll let you select your font size. The Kindle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 font size setting, and they go by numbers.
Font size 5. Font size 4.
And if you start at 1,
font size 1.
which is the smallest it can get, it's still readable, but it's the smallest. And if you go up to 8, which is the largest.
Font size 8.
And for somebody with low vision, this is pretty good. It's actually not bad at all. I think they won't need anything larger than this. Otherwise, it's very difficult to read a book, especially like a lengthy book. So, but those who can is available, so that's great. Now, when you change the font size, it also changes the
font size.
The amount of text is on the screen. So somebody with a learning disability, this can be handy. So that way you can, the less the less the number of fonts on the screen, it may make easier reading to go through rather than having so many fonts. Somebody with a learning disability, the smaller the font size, the more text is on the screen, which makes reading a little bit more challenging. But if you have less text on the screen, it may make reading go a little smoother, a little faster.
Typeface.
Okay, the type. I have to remind myself I gotta wait for the voiceover to finish. Okay, the typeface is regular.
Typeface condensed.
Condensed.
Typeface sans serif.
And sans serif. Okay, so the typeface is basically just the style, the way it looks on the screen. Again, somebody with a low vision probably would find this more useful should they want it to adjust the typeface. But I didn't really notice that much of a difference, the way it looks.
Typeface regular.
But somebody else might. Now the next one, line spacing and words per line following that. I think both somebody with a low vision and somebody with a learning disability can find this useful. The line spacing.
Line spacing small.
Small.
Line spacing medium.
Medium.
Line spacing large.
Large. So line spacing small, medium, large. Somebody with a learning disability or a low vision, adjusting the line spacing could be beneficial in how you read and how you can make it easier for you to read. So it's something that will be useful because some people, they have their line spacing apart. It's easy to go through the sentences, the words, while others, they don't have it apart as much. Line spacing can help with the reading a little easier if they're adjusted accordingly. The next one is a word per line.
Words per line fewest.
Fewest.
Words per line fewer.
Fewer.
Words per line default.
Default. The word per line fewest, fewer, and default. Again, like line spacing, if you have less words per line, it may make easier reading than having too many words per line. So again, somebody with a learning disability or low vision, this could be useful. As far as also somebody who is blind, they don't have to go through so many words or auditorily hear so many words. It may make it easier for them to listen to their book. Now, text-to-speech has been turned off, so I'm going to turn it on right now.
Text book that first recalled to life the period it was the best of of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct to page preferences.
Okay.
Font size 4.
When you have the
Text to
text-to-speech,
speech. Pause.
okay, I gotta remind myself when that happens. When the text-to-speech is on, you'll get two other features available to you. Options. You'll have two additional options available to you. You'll have two additional options available to you. You'll have a speech rate.
Speech rate. Slower. Speech rate. Default. Speech rate. Fast. Speech rate. Slower.
Slower.
Speech rate. Default.
Default.
Speech rate. Faster.
Faster. So you have speech rate slower, default, faster. And again, somebody with a learning disability, blind, low vision, doesn't really matter in this case. Any three individuals who have those particular disability could benefit from this. You cannot adjust it beyond that. So it's either slower, default, or faster. So I'm going to put it faster just to demonstrate what it sounds like when it goes faster. So you guys who use screen reading that talks back to you, which any of you, whether it be low vision, learning disability, or deaf, whether it be learning disability, low vision, or blind, speech rate, you find it similar to what you have used before.
Way in short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. There were a king with a large jaw and a queen. Page preferences. Font size. Speech rate.
I'm going to change it.
Slower.
I'm going to make the speech rate slower now.
The plain face. On the throne of England, there were a king with a large jaw and a queen with a fair face. On the throne of France. In both countries, and was clearer than page preferences. Speaking voice. Speech rate. Crystal to the lords of the state preserves of lobes and page preferences.
Okay. The last one I'm going to talk about is the speech volume.
Speaking voice.
The next one I'm going to talk about is speaking volume. The next thing I'm going to talk about is speaking voice. You can have female voices or male voices. So you just heard the male voices run for several times. So I'm going to run the female voice for a change.
Wishes that things in general were settled forever.
It was the year of our Lord 1775. Spiritual revelations were conceded to England at that favored period, as it is. Mrs. Southcott had recently attained her 5 and page preferences. Font. Text.
Okay. I have not turned off text-to-speech, but I have not turned off voice guide. I'm going to put this Kindle down here and continue talking. Alright, so that is text-to-speech. As you can see, it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, it gives you minimal options, but those options are decent enough. They may not be comparative to some of the screen readers that you use on a computer, PC, or a Mac.